Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at TNT Visa, all one word TNT Visa. If you would like to get more information about us or other immigration topics, you can always find it at our website at www.tntvisa.com. Or if you'd like to schedule a free consultation, you can reach us at 305-433-7677 or through email at info@tntvisa.com. Now, you will get a lot of information from us, other websites, other immigration attorneys, and a variety of different sources on immigration topics. You will also get information on how to file your own cases. Now, the question is, should you file your own cases? And I'm not saying that you can't, because plenty of people are smart enough to do so. However, I would highly recommend that you hire a competent immigration attorney, because if you make the slightest mistake, you're going to end up in a situation where you could be deported and never be allowed to come back into the United States. And you think I am joking, but that is not that. This is serious, and I have seen this in countless of situations. For example, I've seen people who've hired notarios, and notarios are not attorneys. And I have discussed this in the past, and I do want to make it clear: notario in the United States is not an attorney. Anybody can be a notario in the United States. It is not necessarily attorneys. But I've seen situations where people have hired notarios and who have filed paperwork, fraudulent paperwork, just to do certain things and try to get people to stay in the country legally for a short period of time, only for them to end up in immigration court being deported and not come in. I had a client that hired a notario to file some paperwork. Because the notario filed paperwork, he was able to get a work authorization card and able to use it to get a driver's license. But the reality is the paperwork that the notario filed was fraudulent. And so when he married a US citizen and he contacted us, we saw that he actually had an order of deportation entered against him. Because he had that order of deportation entered against him, he had to pay us more money to reopen his file, seek to get his deportation removed, allow him to be able to then proceed with getting residency because he was married to a US citizen. He would have been able to do that without having to go through this costly process of all these different matters if he had just worked with and hired an immigration attorney in the beginning. I've seen situations where competent people have used other notarios who have filed paperwork based on telling them, hey, we know what we're doing because we have an insight in the government. We know somebody who works with immigration, only to have their case be denied for some technicality. When the case was denied, they ended up being deported and were not allowed to come back in the United States for another 10 years. It was only when I got involved later was I actually able to get them a visa, allow them to come back in, where they're now working in the United States. Again, I had to work with them and give them information and arguments, because when they went to the embassy to get the visa, there still was a red flag on their file, which we had to work with to make sure that they could see, hey, no, this is okay. They can now move back into the immigration. But if he had never used a notario in the first place and had relied upon other immigration counsel, more than likely he would have never been deported and subject to that 10-year bar. I've worked with clients in the past, one who was an executive at a financial institute, and the other one who was had a master's in engineering, and they filed the paperwork on their own. And because they filed the paperwork on their own, when they left the country and came back in, it triggered situations where the man ended up in immigration court. It was only after he retained us when he was in immigration court that we were able to get everything removed, allow him to get permanent residency, something that he should have been able to get on a very simple matter. He paid us a lot of money in order to be able to do this, money that he did not necessarily need to spend, because he didn't hire an immigration attorney and they did it on their own. Another case I'm currently working with, they hired a notario to file paperwork on their behalf, something that they should have been able to do. And the attorney gave them, and the notario gave them bad advice. Because of that bad advice, they got one part of their case approved and the other part denied. And when that part was denied, it actually put them in a situation where they now have to seek a waiver in order for her to be able to get permanent residency in the United States. Now, you again will find a lot of information on how to file paperwork and what to do, how to fill out forms and things like that. But again, if you do the slightest mistake, it could severely impact your case. And so you want to work with a competent attorney, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who has been doing this for years, because they're looking out for your best interest. One of the things I tell every single client is I am not going to file if I don't think an immigration officer is going to approve it. I look at every case as if I'm the immigration officer. I am looking at what would I deny? What would I have questions on? And I'm trying to address those before I'm able to file the petition. I will give clients honest advice. And I have told clients many of times, I'm sorry, this is not something I feel comfortable filing because I do not think it's going to be approved. These are difficult situations that I'm willing to have with clients because I am looking out for their best interest, not mine, but their best interest. And that's why it's very important for you to hire an immigration attorney who has your best interest in mind. So, can you file things on your own? Absolutely. Is it worth it? That's up to you. I don't think it's worth it because I've seen too many situations and too many times where people have done things on their own only to be denied and have a huge can of worms open up where they have been impacted for years and years. Where if they had just hired a competent attorney in the beginning, they would have never had those situations. So, understanding that and knowing that, we would be more than happy to work with you and to talk to you about your particular circumstances and how best to come to the United States legally, lawfully, and stay in the United States. If you would like to schedule a free consultation with us, please reach out to us at 305-433-7677, or you can email us at info@tntvisa.com. Again, if you like this video and want more information on other immigration topics, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at tntvisa.com. At TNT Visa. At YouTube, it's TNT Visa, all one word. If you want more information about us or other immigration topics, you can always find it at our website at www.tntvisa.com. Thank you very much for watching. We look forward to hearing from you soon. We hope that you have a wonderful week.